everyone, welcome to my second video in my mini series on estate planning. Today we are going to be talking about an extremely important topic that generates a lot of curiosity. What happens if a person dies without a will in Ontario, Canada? I would like to start with an often heard remark that if I die without a will, all my property and assets will be taken over by the government. Let me tell you, this cannot be further from the truth. The government does not take all your assets. If you do not have a will, your assets are distributed as per Succession Law Reforms Act. You are considered to have died intestate, meaning you have died without a will. And therefore, the intestate rules in the Act are then used to determine who will get what share of your property. The major drawback of this Act is that if you have a married spouse or you have your biological children or adopted children, they will get portions from your estate. However, if you are in a common law relationship or you have stepchildren whom you have not legally adopted, they will not get anything from your estate. You may want to leave something to them. That is one of the major drawbacks of dying without a will. However, we will come back to why making a will is important and what will happen just in a bit. Before that, let me tell you what will happen if you die without a will. If you die without a will, there can be certain different situations that can happen. You may be married, legally married, not a common law spouse, but legally married, but not have any children, then your entire property will go to your legally married spouse. If you are legally married and have biological or legally adopted children, then the first $200,000 of your property will go to your spouse. If you have any property above $200,000, then that property will be divided amongst your spouse and your children. If you're not married or don't have any children, then the property will go to your next of kin. It could be your parents, your siblings, your nieces, nephews, anybody who is in immediate connection or in immediate relationship to you. However, if there is no immediate relative or a legally married spouse or biological or legally adopted children, then the property goes to the government. This is where we have to be careful, because if I'm in a common law relationship and I would like my spouse to take over whatever we have created together, I need a will to give it to him or her. Like I just said, this is a problem for people who are in common law relationships or who have stepchildren they would like to give something to but have not legally adopted those children. There can be potentially other problems also that can come up if you do not have a will. For example, if you are separated from a legally married spouse but a legal divorce has not taken place, at that point, if you die without the divorce having been finalized, your spouse will be entitled to a share in the property. There can be a situation where your family, your spouse or your loved ones are not aware of certain investments or assets that you have. They've been scattered all over the place. And after you die, they might not be able to figure out all those assets. They may miss out on some of those. What will happen then? What will happen for your funeral charges? How are the taxes going to be paid? Who is going to pay that? Who is going to take care of your estate? What is going to happen? All these questions are left open. What is going to happen? We need a will to determine exactly what is going to happen and how it is going to happen. to make our lives easier and to make the lives of our loved ones easier. If we have a will and an estate plan, there is a possibility of saving on our taxes. We would have created a plan whereby my property is being passed on to my loved ones and they are not having to pay as much taxes as they might have to pay if I die without a will. Your wishes, the most important thing. You're earning for yourself and your family. If we don't have a will, then nobody knows your wishes. It is just a legal transaction that is going to take place. Maybe you have wished for something else. Maybe you wanted to give something to charity. Maybe you have pets and you wanted to take care of your pets. Maybe you want to create some trust for your children. Even if your children are older than 18 years old, you feel that no, my child is a little immature. If I give them all the money right now, they would spend it all. But if I give them in a deferred manner, or if I create a trust for them and monthly the trust can pay them some money, that might be better for them. And it might help them, it might teach them the value of money. These are some of the factors which show that creating a will is a very, very important part of our life. I know that even if we die without a will, our government is not taking the property. But what about all the other problems that are coming with it? What about my wishes and my desires? What will happen to that? That is a question that needs to be thought of. If you have any questions, do feel free to email me at marsha@marshabra.ca and I will do my best to answer those questions for you. Until next time, take care, stay safe, goodbye.